सुप्रभातं, गुड् मार्निङ्ग्। व्याकरणशास्त्रस्य गुरुपरम्परां नमस्कृत्य आरम्भं कुर्मः। Let us begin with saluting the tradition of great Sanskrit grammarians. वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। प्रथमं तावत् संस्कृतभाषाम् अधिकृत्य किञ्चित् वक्तुमिच्छामि। First of all, I would like to say something about Sanskrit language. So it is titled as The Story of Language, and the learning outcomes are: the student should be able to understand the place of Sanskrit among world languages, know about Indo-European family of languages, understand Sanskrit as a repository of ancient knowledge, understand the present status of Sanskrit. As you might have heard, Sanskrit is one of the most ancient languages in the world. It is very difficult to trace the exact history of such a very ancient language. It is like tracing the origin of mankind itself. So for Sanskrit, we cannot pinpoint exact years, decades, or even centuries while describing its history. The Rig Veda, the oldest literary evidence in Sanskrit, which came to us through an oral tradition, dates back at least 1500 or 2000 years before Common Era. As it is revealed in a much developed language, we can assume it time even before that. So we should have to quote the words of a great British linguist, the founder of Royal Asiatic Society, Sir William Jones. I quote, "The Sanskrit language, whatever be its antiquity, is of a wonderful structure, more perfect than the Greek, more copious than the Latin, and more exquisitely refined than either, yet bearing to both of them a stronger affinity." Unquote. The serious learning of Sanskrit in the West had begun by this observation, and it had initiated a new branch of study, comparative philology, a forerunner of modern linguistics. Scholars studied more about close similarities with these European languages and Sanskrit, and they have classified these languages as Indo-European family of languages and postulated a common ancestor, namely Proto-Indo-European, for them. Although we did not get any remnants of Proto-Indo-European, researchers had developed its alphabet, vocabulary, etc. through researchers. As a result of these studies, languages in the world were classified into families according to their origin. There are common ancestors for each family from which they have developed. Many such language families are there, for example, Dravidian, North American, etc. Languages of Indo-European family are widely spread over the world than any other language family. Many important languages belong to this family, such as Russian, Latin, Greek, Portuguese, Italian, French, Irish, German, Dutch, English, Swedish, etc. Sanskrit belongs to the Aryan branch of Indo-European family. Some scholars state that from Sanskrit, the Prakrit languages are originated, and many of the Indian languages such as Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, etc., had its origin from these Prakrit languages. Even though the South Indian languages have no such genealogical connection with Sanskrit, they have been very much influenced by Sanskrit and have a deep indebtedness in their vocabulary and grammatical rules. When we think about Sanskrit, it is a language that functioned in any such dimension a language can. We may perceive it as a very rigid with its grammatical rules and all, still it manifests before us as the most flexible language in the world. A language that has the capacity to turn even the most unpoetical subjects like mathematics, astronomy, or grammar into a beautiful kavya or poetry. It was a language through which all geniuses of an age conversed with, contemplated upon, and expressed their discoveries. So, when writing the history of physics, chemistry, astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, linguistics, or even music, dance, or theatre, we cannot complete it without mentioning the contributions by Sanskrit writers. So, we have a rich tradition of thousands of teachers and their countless works. Even though majority of them are lost, what we have with us today itself is very huge. We have libraries with thousands of manuscripts which are not yet published. So the known history of Sanskrit is still very less when compared to the unknown or unexplored literature. Now we should think about the current status of Sanskrit today. There are 24,821 persons in India who have Sanskrit as their mother tongue. This is the data according to the 2011 census. Sanskrit is taught in 450 Indian universities. There are nearly 5,000 traditional pathashalas all over the country. Many foreign universities including Harvard, Oxford and University of British Columbia have centers for teaching Sanskrit. So this is what all I have to say as an introduction. Thank you. धन्यवादः.